Alright, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, which Yahweh is being the true name. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, which is the name of Yahushua, the name of the only begotten Son. Okay, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Pastor, when they give a shout, Shiakim is pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. That's also uplifting the name of Yahweh, Yahushua. And to you confusion of faces, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which makes you Israelites by blood, though you may look like the heathen nations you're scattered amongst, aka one of the heathen nations, whether you look like a Edomite, who is a so-called white man, a so-called Arab, a so-called Chinese, a so-called Japanese, and so on, of the heathen nations. If your seed line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American man, and if your spirit bear witness with this word and this truth, and you can receive it loud and clear, no matter what you look like, okay, if you can receive it and hear this with this word, okay, then no matter what you look like, then yeah, Israelite. To you sisters that do listen, learn Shalom. To the elect, okay, wherever you may be scattered throughout the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever you may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who this truth is going out to, Shalom to you throughout the four corners of the earth. And to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the Hebrew Israelites, the true Jews of the Bible, not black, not Latino, and not Native American. Okay, those are all bywords that were placed upon you. And here it is some more, basically another thing that's here. It says Russia, if you don't know, Russia in the scriptures is Gog, okay, Gog, and the Medes, okay? That's their biblical nationality, which they're Edomites as well, but they are Gog and the Medes, okay? It says Russia's invulnerable nuclear missile ready to deploy, Putin says. Okay, and this is on CNN. This came out today, okay, which is the 27th. And I'm going to read this article because this is prophecy, okay? This is another sign that we're in the last seconds of this man's rulership. This man being the Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man. Okay, so I'm gonna read this article and get the scriptures. Lord willing, this is edifying. It says Russia's new hypersonic missile system, which President Vladimir Putin claims is invulnerable to U.S. defenses. And notice he said the U.S. Okay, he didn't say any other country. He said the U.S. mostly. Why? Because U.S. is the dominant country right now, okay? The headquarters of Esau. Well, he will enter service in 2019, okay, which we're a week away, you know. The Russian leader said after a test of the missile Wednesday, Russia is the first in the world to receive a new type of strategic weapon, and this will reliably ensure the security of our state and of our people for decades to come, Putin said, according to the state-run TASS news service. This is a wonderful, excellent gift for the country for the new year. TASS quotes Putin as saying that Avangard hypersonic system was tested from the Domborovsky military air base in southwest Russia, according to TASS. Earlier reports said that the Avangard has intercontinental range and the ability to fly as fast as Mach 20, more than 15,000 miles per hour, as it closed in on its targets. The missile with a maneuverable gliding warhead can adjust both at altitude and direction to avoid defenses and fly low enough to avoid most interceptors, TASS has reported. Okay? It will be particularly invulnerable, Putin said when he boasted of the Avangard during a March address to the Russian parliament. Okay? And that's prophecy, okay? It's prophecy that they will make a weapon like this, and there's nothing really the U.S. could do against the technology of the weapon, but really it's the Spirit of the Lord that did that. I'm going to start Jeremiah 51. I'm going to start the 10th verse, okay? It says, the Lord had brought forth our righteousness, come and let us declare in Zion. Zion is another name for Israel, basically, okay? And the work of the Lord our power. Make bright the arrows, which the arrows are symbolic for the nuclear missiles, okay? The arrows are those missiles, the ICBM thermonuclear missiles. This is it right here. Okay? That's the arrow he's talking about. Okay? Going back to the scriptures. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. The Medes are who? The Russians. For his device, and that device is these missiles. Okay? These so-called arrows. Is against Babylon, which America is Babylon the Great. Okay? America is Babylon the Great. Okay? According to the scriptures. To destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Okay? So the Lord put the spirit on these the so-called Russians, the Medes, okay? To make this these missiles, and then they just keep upgrading them every time. Okay? First you had the Satan 2, the Satan 1, then the Satan 2. Okay, then it went from just a hypersonic missile, which this is a hypersonic missile, but it's a certain type of hypersonic missile. Okay? That's of the Lord that's doing it. Okay? It says, set up the standard, the 12th verse. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Okay? It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures. Okay? Thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Okay? But going back to the article, this is another major sign that the end is near. Okay? You see this economic collapse, and now you see this. Okay? And we're just days away from 2019. Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit more. Limited funding and other defense industrial resources have also threatened a variety of other Russian strategic and non-strategic military modernization efforts. Joseph Trevithick, a fellow at globalsecurity.org, wrote on the War Zone blog, it remains to be seen just how rapidly the Kremlin can actually get its new hypersonic weapons into service, and to what degree. But Putin's announcement Wednesday indicates Moscow is still pursuing weapon systems that give the Pentagon pause for thought. Okay? General John Hyten, the 4-star head of U.S. Strategic Command, warned in March that current generations of U.S. missile detecting satellites and radars won't be capable of spotting weapons such as the Avangard. We are going to need a different set of sensors in order to see the hypersonic threats, Hyten told CNN at the time. Pause. This is going to be Joel. The second chapter. Let me see. I'm going to start the first verse. Blow ye the trumpets, Joel 2:1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, that's you Israel, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. They have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire from what? The missiles devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is the garden of Eden before them, and behind them is a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Okay? You people aren't gonna be able to escape the fire from the missiles. Just like you see in the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Okay, that's what it's literally gonna be like. The only ones who's gonna actually survive this nuclear holocaust, if you like to call it, is the elites. But that's because they're gonna be the first fruits of slavery. Okay, they're gonna be the first ones to taste of slavery under the who? The Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen shall they run. Okay? Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame, a fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It says before the face, the people shall be much pain, all faces shall be gathered all faces shall gather blackness. And why is that? Because you people, okay, you heathens, you heathen nations, you Edomites, you so-called white people, and you 2/3 of our own people, when you see these missiles, you see that which is going to explain, you see that it's not going to that the American defense system against missiles is not going to be able to stop them, and they continue coming. okay, and they hit their mark, you people are gonna be scared, man. Okay, while the elect, when this is happening, the elect is gonna be beamed up in them chariots, okay, before the missiles hit, and while you other people, okay, even your 2/3 is still on the ground, and then the missiles is coming, okay. That's why your face is gonna gather blackness. The 7th verse: they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning that America's defense system can't do shit against these missiles. Okay? Excuse my language. Okay? That's basically what it's saying. And did he not just say that in the article I just read? The earth, okay, they shall run to and fro the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. That's that fire. Just like you've seen the Terminator Judgment Day, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. How the fire was just going through everything, going through buildings, okay, going through trees, going through everything. Okay, same thing. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Okay? And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, which he's talking about those missiles. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Okay? That's the point, man. Okay? Zechariah 14, Zechariah 14:12. Okay, I think it's the 14th verse, 1 to 2. Says, and their eyes shall melt, their eyes and their tongue shall melt. Okay? It goes into how your eyes and tongue shall melt when the fire hits you, man. Okay? It's really going to happen. That's going to happen. Okay? They showed this on the news, man. Okay? They showed you. I was literally watching one of my family members watch the news, the so-called news that's like your mainstream media, and they actually showed that the Russians are testing a new missile. Okay? They actually showed that, man. Okay? It says the geopolitical intelligence website Straft in a post early this year described hypersonic weapons as destabilizing. These missiles will trigger a new arms race for offensive superiority. Okay? Strafter said. Okay? It also says hypersonic weapons encourage first strikes because they leave an opponent little time to consider options. Shorter reaction times and lack of adequate defenses will make preemptive strikes more attractive, according to Strafter. It says, besides, Russia, the U.S., and China have been working on hypersonic missiles. Beijing says it successfully tested a hypersonic aircraft in August, flying its Starry Sky 2 vehicle at Mach 6. It did not say what plans it had for hypersonic technology, other than to contribute to its aerospace industry, which the real plans is, like I read Jeremiah 51, is these nations are going to gather up and shoot these missiles at America. Okay? Whether you believe it or not. It says the U.S. Air Force earlier this year awarded a $928 million contract to Lockheed Martin to develop hypersonic missiles. Okay? I will read on, but time. And that's the point, man. Okay? This is once again another major prophecy, okay? Alongside the economic collapse that's about to happen with rushing these missiles, okay? That shows you we're in basically the last seconds of this Esau eating the so-called white man's kingdom, okay? America will be destroyed. America is destined to be destroyed, okay? This way, okay? So to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, if you haven't done so, repent. Come back to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, okay? And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect, wherever you may be. Hold tight, because the end is almost here.